Hiya, hello! Welcome back to Pokemon Emerald. In the last episode, we were in the middle of doing some more capturing and evolving Pokemon. I did a little bit of breeding off screen, so today we have some eggs to hatch. These should all be additions to our Pokedex. People that are savvy will probably already know what Pokemon these are, considering we have made some pretty significant progress in the Pokedex. We're slowly chipping down the Ho Index, and we're slowly reaching the point where a lot of the Pokemon that are missing are things that are going to be a little bit harder to run into and capture, things that we'll have to resort to trading and outside forces for. So as we slowly approach that point, it becomes a little bit more predictable what Pokemon we are hunting for. We do still have some wild encounters to take care of, so maybe those will be the next target after we hatch these eggs. Also, I think we're going to be trying to hunt down some of the other rare spawns that are in the game. Surskit might end up being impossible to capture, depends on a lot. I never realized that there was so much to getting Surskit to appear and be catchable in Pokemon Emerald. So ultimately it might end up being that Surskit itself is also a trade from another game. And to that end, I should probably start a playthrough of Ruby and/or Sapphire. That way I can start catching the things that I will need to trade over to Emerald eventually. The only question is, do I want to do something like stream and/or record my playthrough of those games? I could see myself doing something like that. I would definitely stream one of the games, either Ruby or Sapphire, and just play the other one, I guess, on my own time, up to the point where I have everything ready to trade over. So I guess we've ended up kind of going into the weeds a little bit and putting our focus into finishing up the Ho Index before going to start the Battle Frontier, which is, I guess it's okay. It really doesn't matter which order I do it in if my goal is ultimately to complete the Ho Index and do the Battle Frontier. So it's not like this puts me behind schedule. It just kind of flips the schedule around. Especially considering it's probably going to be the most time-consuming thing, going through the battles and actually completing the Battle Frontier, so it actually might be the smartest move to save the most time-consuming part for last. In the meantime, we do get to explore the game further, going around and capturing and evolving all these new Pokemon. I use the term new with a grain of salt because these are old Pokemon at this point. But it is nice to rediscover all the little quirks and features in Emerald in Generation 3. It's definitely been a nice and enriching experience. I'm quite satisfied to go see it through to completion. At least to the point of completing a Hoendex. Though since the Hoendex is, what is it, 202 I think? Out of 386, so theoretically it's not that big of a leap from completing the Hoendex to completing the entire National Dex, but I'm still not sure if I'm going to do that. I would need feedback from the community here, letting me know that they would be interested in seeing me aim for completing the entire National Dex. Then I would put in that effort. I think that's probably what I'm going to do, is leave it up to the people to decide. And they will have until I complete the Hoendex and finish up the Battle Frontier. And I suppose the Gym Leader rematch as well, but I was going to throw those interspersed within Battle Frontier episodes. To mix things up a little bit. And I suppose I still do have the contest circuit to go through. So yeah, there are little things I can do. Still a lot of Emerald to explore. No, I can't heal here. I have to go to the Pokémon Center. There we go. And as you've noticed, I'm trying to kill two birds with one stone here. Doing some leveling up for Numel, which should evolve into Camerupt. I'm thinking it probably evolves around level 30. So we're still quite a ways away from it, but every little bit of experience helps. And also, I'm in the grass, so of course, continuing our search for Woolbeat. If we're extremely lucky, we'll get the Woolbeat encounter while we're hatching these eggs. And then we'll take care of the eggs and Volbeat. Then, maybe if there's some time left in this episode, we can start our hunt for Pokemon to capture that we missed along the way through the main story. And that will make some good time on our progress here. The way this is set up, even if we don't exactly get to all of those goals, we still make decent progress either way. No wasted effort. It's the strategy here. Can't be perfectly efficient, but we may as well be as efficient as we can in our hunt. So using opportunities where you can to achieve multiple goals at once. It's always going to be an optimal play. Let's see if we get lucky with full heat. Oh no, full heat. I was hoping that maybe, since we've had some luck with Chimecho. That's 2% encounter rate. That luck should show up here. But we do have to consider that 2% is double the encounter rate of 1%. So we have to imagine that we are looking at a little bit longer of a wait in our search for Volbeat. But I have faith, I'm sure we will eventually run into Volbeat. It's just going to take some time and patience here. In the meantime, we can get our Numel to evolve, hatch some eggs, make some waves. Okay. Sweet scent. I think I'm gonna check on the eggs and see what they're at. They should be pretty close to hatching. Yep, they're all at that final stage, making sounds, going to hatch soon. So it's just a matter of accumulating enough steps, which is going to take a little bit more time as we're purposely seeking out encounters. And now the question is, will our luck be an egg hatching first or Volbeat appearing? My money is on an egg hatching first. It's good leveling up for a fire type here, especially in these early levels. Probably up to around level 20. We could probably even grind up to 25 or so here. Without leaving, because the experience yields are decent and the Illumise appearances are good chunks of experience. So as you consistently grind encounters, you'll definitely level up pretty darn quickly. Okay. Speaking of, we're already on our way to level 18. We're hop, skip, and a jump away from level 20. We're doing this all with Ember, because this is the olden days where there weren't a whole lot of options for fire type attacks. Basically, you're stuck with Ember and or Flame Wheel for most fire types for the longest time, until you can get to them learning Flamethrower, which usually happens really late, in the 30s and 40s of levels. This is one of the reasons why fire types were a little bit harder to raise in earlier games, because they were as strong as they were as a type. They lacked damage output early on, and of course they had defensive weaknesses. So between those two factors, early on, you don't get the most damage. It's not as easy to raise fire types. over time that has slowly changed. And I think nowadays the difference between raising a fire type and a water type or a grass type is not that different. Of course it varies from species to species, but overall they're on about an more even keel now than they have been in the past. Which is good, especially when you are using fire type starters in your game. Personally, I like to rotate starters, so I never start with the same type twice, or back-to-back generations. That process has worked out pretty nicely for me. Okay, now we're out of Flame Ember. Guess we should go heal up at the Pokemon Center. It'll give us a chance to put in some extra steps towards our eggs hatching. Good stuff. Now we can get back out there. Okay, we've got our first hatch. And it's Azurill. The pre-evolution to Marill. Introduced in this generation. Azurill, the polka dot Pokémon. Its tail, which is packed with nutrition, is very bouncy like a rubber ball. On sunny days, they gather at the edge of water and splash about for fun. Very cool Pokemon. Marill being one of those water types that are kind of underappreciated. Became a lot more appreciated when it became a fairy type, because water fairy is a really strong type. Even before it became a fairy type, once there was the split in the attack types, so that there were physical and special water type attacks. In Generation 4 you could make a really strong physical sweeper, Azurill. I was a fan of using that brand of Azurill. And then when it became a fairy type, it just got even stronger. And Azurill and its ilk are one of those types of Pokemon that kind of make it obvious when there is a gap that could be filled potentially by a different type, a brand new type. It's like how the Magnemite line always had those. When you look back retroactively at the Magnemite line, it makes 100% sense that they would be Steel type once Steel was introduced. I think that's the case with Pokemon like Staryu and Starmie and Clefairy and Deoxys. That if they do introduce a space type, then when you look back on those Pokemon retroactively, it would be obvious that they would be space type. And frankly, I think the stellar type, temporary not real type introduced in Scarlet and Violet, is another sort of clue indication. Oh, look at that. See, that's one of the rare encounters on this route. Could it be a sign that our Volbeat is just around the corner? Magnitude, pretty good ground type move. Not as good as Earthquake, but on occasion can be as good as Earthquake. The base power of Magnitude is decided by the level, the number. A Magnitude 9 is 90 base power, and a Magnitude 10 is the highest it can get, and that is 100 base power, which is the same as Earthquake. So basically it's like a roll the dice version of Earthquake, which is fun in its own way. And it works nicely as a substitute until you can get Earthquake, because over the course of a battle the damage output is decent. Okay, I guess we'll go on until we hatch the other 2 eggs, or maybe just one more egg, since we might not get a Volbeat encounter here. Maybe I'll do 1 egg per episode, though I don't think that's going to be possible because the other 2 eggs should be really close to hatching. Probably within steps of each other at this rate. So let's see if we can get Volbeat. That's gonna be the goal. Maybe not battle, unless we get something like Illumise, which has a nice high experience yield. Just run from everything else. And see if we can look out. For the next, I'll say 2-3 minutes. Okay. See if we can we'll get an egg hatch. And I suppose that's where we'll end the episode. We got Igglybuff. See where Jigglypuff is. There it is. Igglybuff, the balloon Pokemon. Its soft and pliable body is very bouncy. When it sings continuously with all its might, its body steadily turns a deepening pink color. Another round, bouncy baby Pokemon. And I think with that, we will wrap the episode up. So thank you so much for watching. Please like and comment and subscribe. Very much appreciate going through all of your feedback on these episodes. Please consider joining me on Patreon. You get access to episodes before they show up on YouTube. And there's a 1-week free trial, so you can try it out at no cost to you. And with that, I will catch you all in the next episode. Stay frosty.